Simsim and the humorous mimicry talent. The little star of the forest. Simsim, the clever and observant little hedgehog, had discovered a brand new and utterly amusing talent, the ability to mimic sounds and movements with comedic brilliance. He didn't do it intentionally at first, he would simply observe animal sounds and movements, then find himself repeating them in a way that sparked laughter. One night, as a full moon illuminated the Bavarian forest, small and large animals were preparing for the Moonlight Festival. This night was dedicated to celebrating the beauty of the forest, and animals often presented small performances of dance or song. Bundik the squirrel was practicing his usual dance, which included acrobatic leaps and surprising falls onto his tail, always making everyone laugh. Farfor the mouse, on the other hand, was rehearsing a song in a very high-pitched voice. Simsim sat watching his friends, and each time he saw a movement or heard a sound, he would secretly exaggerate it, which made him smile. For instance, when Bundik fell on his tail, Simsim mimicked the fall in his spot, but in exaggerated slow motion, then shook his head as if to say, that fall might sting a bit. No one had noticed Simsim's talent yet, but it was developing in secret. On the night of the festival, everyone gathered around the shimmering forest lake. The animals presented their acts. Farfor sang in his high voice, and Bundik danced enthusiastically, falling several times as usual. Everyone applauded, but the overall atmosphere was a bit quiet. Then it was Mrs. Owl Hikmah's turn to perform, but she had come down with a sudden cold. She tried to begin telling one of her wise stories, but her voice was very hoarse, and she coughed intermittently. Everyone felt awkward, and it seemed the festival might lose some of its sparkle. At this moment, Simsim felt a surge of playful courage. An idea struck him. He quietly crept to the center of the circle. And Simsim began to mimic. He started by imitating Mrs. Owl Hikmah's hoarse voice, then her intermittent coughing, but in a very humorous and gentle way. Then he moved on to mimicking her slow and deliberate movements. Everyone burst out laughing. They weren't laughing at Mrs. Owl, but at Simsim's brilliant and amusing mimicry. He then moved on to mimicking Bundik's squeal when a hazelnut dropped, then imitated Farfor's rapid running and light jumping, adding an exaggerated and funny touch to each movement. He mimicked the sounds and movements with astonishing accuracy, but with a touch of mischief. The forest erupted in laughter. The festival transformed into an atmosphere of joy and merriment. There was no mockery in Simsim's mimicry, it was rather a humorous display of his friend's endearing characteristics. Even Mrs. Owl Hikmah smiled and applauded, forgetting her cold for a moment. After his performance ended, the animals stood clapping enthusiastically for Simsim. Mr. Agile Deer laughed and said, "Simsim, I didn't know you had this hidden talent. You saved our festival." Simsim, in addition to being the forest's detective and translator, became the little star of the forest. He knew how to bring smiles to everyone's faces and how to turn awkward situations into moments of fun. From that day on, everyone would ask him to perform his amusing acts, filling the forest with laughter and happiness.